Yo, what's good everybody? It's your boy SBX, and this video topic, what you see here, is the Disney Channel. And we're gonna ride the nostalgia train again. And pretty much this is what we also grew up on, and basically other generations of kids during the days, let's say your mom, your dad, your grandma, your grandpa, and your great grandparents, they all grew up watching shit like this. But I'm gonna go ahead and talk about, the pros and cons about Disney and why Disney Channel is pretty good, but then again it has a bad side to it. Now let's go to the good. Everything, I always start with the good, the sweet, good old Disney. Now, Disney been around for a very, 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 very long time. I'm not sure what year, but I know it's been decades, basically. Black and white TV days. Of course, we had our all-star characters like Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Goofy, Minnie Mouse, Chip and Dale, and the rest of the cats. And pretty much I would say that those were your mom and your dad and your grandma and your grandpa's ultimate old school cartoon characters. And creative, we already know, is Walt Disney. Pretty much made a dynasty for Disney to grow, and you already know that his work began to be more popular and had been expressed throughout the whole world. Pretty much made a fun park, Disneyland, in 2 states, of course. And then you also have the cruise ship and all that. We already know that Disney is a big time production. But anyways, I like Disney back in the days where it had its own channel. It has its own channel, and we watched Toon Disney. And growing up as a kid, watching shows like Gargoyles, Darwin Duck, DuckTales, Mighty Ducks, Chip and Dale, Tailspin, Madeline, and the list goes on. But I feel though that these cartoons were pretty good and it was adventurous, which nowadays cartoons on television in the modern generation of Disney don't show anymore. Most of the times you see cartoons like Phineas and Ferb, Gravity Falls, Fish Hooks, and and whatever's on. But those are the only cartoons that are pretty much on television. It's more reality TV show based, like Good Luck Charlie, Ant Farm, and all the rest of the bullshit. And I'm glad that Hannah Montana is canceled. But the only thing wrong with Disney though is like every time that Disney had these kid roles for their celebrities back in the days, like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Justin Timberlake, Miley Cyrus. They were sweet, innocent kids back in the days. But I'm not saying Justin Bieber or Christina Aguilera, but it's always coming to those type of women who begin and turn into fucking sluts and idiots. But anywho, my whole thing is that every time we watch shit like this on Disney, on the modern days, they barely show any cartoons. Maybe for the kids shows, yeah, like Kid Disney or whatever they call it, for babies and stuff like that. Okay, that's fine for them because we're not babies. But I remember we had, in the mornings we watched Disney Channel shows like Roly Poly Oly, Out of the Box, and Bear in the Big Blue House. Those were good classic TV shows, and also PB&J Otter. I loved that cartoon growing up as a kid. But like I say, you only see some baby stuff that relates to Disney characters, you know, and 3D graphics. But okay, I don't care for it, but it's acceptable for the children because it doesn't have. I hope it doesn't have any adult sexual content that is subliminal. But we'll get to that later. But anywho, I miss the old days where Toon Disney really had good cartoons. But I mean, we got, what was it, XD, Disney XD or whatever the fuck it is. To me, it's Disney ADHD if you ask me. Shit, because like I said, my attention span is so fucking low watching this garbage. But Toon Disney and Jetix, they were the best shows to watch on television until Jetix started to suck after a while. But exactly, like, you know, good cartoons back in the days were great, but they don't really put it back on television. That's the fucking problem. If Nickelodeon can bring back all the old 1990s cartoons, and Cartoon Network will pick out whatever cartoons in the 90s they could put on, and also have Boomerang to the side, why can't Disney bring out all the good classic cartoons that we watched as a kid again and reminisce the old days once again? So again, Disney is promoting all this bullshit and just for the new generation of kids. And when I look at this new generation of kids, they never experienced and never will understand the true essence of good cartoons. And they talk about Darwin Duck is boring. Bitch, please. These kids don't know shit about cartoons if it bite them in the ass. And, you know, so we also had realistic TV shows like, you know, Lizzie McGuire, That's So Raven, and, fuck. I don't really care for realistic TV shows like that. Because as I said, as a kid, I always watched the cartoons. But I mean, Sister and Smart Guy were acceptable. I watched that, even though they were UPN shows in the days. But that's acceptable. But The Amazing Jack Black, what was it? I forgot his name. The guy who committed suicide years ago. Damn. Like I said, I don't really watch shit like that, like Phil the Future, Even Stevens, none of that shit. I don't care for it too much as well. But yeah, anywho, those were a little bit of my pros and the cons about the channel. But this time I'm going to talk about Disney as a generally, how they're exploiting things on television and putting things on little children's minds, and even us as a kid. Now, you know, I did read and look through other videos. Make sure you check out these two videos on the link of the description box if y'all want to read and look up to the whole, you know, bad, dirty side of Disney Channel. But for instance, you know, Disney has a lot of sexual subliminal messages on, you know, good, like, you know, movies that we grew up as a kid, like Pocahontas and Lion King and pretty much The Little Mermaid and stuff like that. And, you know, as a kid, we didn't really pay attention to it. We was just enjoying the cartoons, and which that's perfectly fine, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, when we're kids, we don't know any better, and we're just being innocent and just enjoying our time watching our cartoons, and including me. And especially me, I didn't know that, you know, they had sexual type of subliminal messages on there. You know, not even just that, they had Illuminati symbols and the signs as well, and we was not even capable to see it, you know. And when we're kids, we don't know shit about the Illuminati. We don't know nothing about it. We just know fun and cartoons and happiness. When you realize you grew up and you get the whole subliminal messages, you'd be like, oh, that's kind of odd. And you thought it was fun. You thought it was just your imagination, but then you realize, like, damn, for real? Whoa, shit, it's crazy. But I mean, some cartoons do have subliminal messages. Not only Disney, but certain cartoon channels and cartoons itself have subliminal messages. But it's just that, you know, the media is spreading a lot of subliminal messages based on shows and advertisements. But it's up to you to realize it and continue watching these shows and take things for granted, you know. But I mean, deep down, I like watching Disney Channel, but at this rate, god damn, I'm not even sure how I feel. It's like all morals are all flushed down the toilet. You know, these princess type of movies like Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast and The Little Mermaid. You know what I'm saying? It just relates to how females were when they were kids. They feel like they wanted to be this type of princess thing, and grow into princess phobia attitude, and then when they grew up and realized, damn, some girls got fucked up and being sluts and all that other bullshit, you know, peer pressure and, you know, not thinking straight. That's kind of like the same twist of how, you know, the Disney movies when with these princesses were. But, you know, it was really crazy how Walt Disney set up shit like that, because they said, you know, according to rumors, but then again on these articles, that, you know, Walt Disney was a pedophile and pretty much did a lot of crazy drugs, and, you know, he wasn't, he put a lot of, you know, crazy adult sexual content on there because he was really perverted, and also being part of the Illuminati, and pretty much froze his body when he died and stuff like that. But actually there are, some of them are rumors and some of them are true, but the whole subliminal messages, I can really believe that, you know. It's like, you know, Walt Disney had a dirty mind and stuff like, you know, it's crazy. But, you know, it's like you got this satanic type of messages and actions, like, you know, in the Little Mermaid and Fantasia. It's like everything what you see on those movies is always satanic witchcrafting actions, you know. It's everything to relate to that, you know. And people thought it was just magic and shit like that, but in the worldly stories, that's witchcraft, and, you know, worshiping the devil and stuff like that, because they people say that, you know, Walt Disney worshipped the devil and stuff like that. I'm not even sure, but then again, he was a Mason, so when you look at Masonry, people think of the Illuminati, but it's really confusing. But, you know, I can observe to the actions, because they both have this similar ways between Masons and Illuminati, but also everything that relates in this world is similar to what they put in subliminal messages, especially with Disney and any other cartoons they put on. But anywho, it's crazy how people look through that advertisement, and let's go back to sexual endo. You know, it's like, you know, he's always favoring women all the time and make them wear bikinis and wear exotic clothing. And like I said, and on those kids shows, like, you know, the teenage stars like Miley Cyrus, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, they was innocent girls who were just, you know, making a show, and then later on, after they show end, they turn into whores and crazy psychotic bitches. It's not even worth being. It's not a coincidence. It's just, you just realize that, you know, Disney is turning little girls into whores and manipulating. That's the thing. Disney, one thing I would say, is the king of manipulation, and really good at, you know, subliminal messages. And you gotta give it props though. Now, I'm not saying like, oh, hey, you know, it's really good, but you gotta, you know, in perspectives, that deep down inside, Disney is good at subliminal and hiding those type of things in the cartoons, in which we're not seeing, because there are some times that we're seeing ass and titties and dicks all the time, you know, and we wasn't capable of seeing that, you know. But anyways, peoples, you know, I have to say though, is that I'm not trying to make a big rant of it, but, you know, Disney is both good and bad in people's eyes. But, you know, you gotta understand, all those good classic movies that we watched as a kid were satanic. But what would you rather prefer? The satanic cartoons that we're not really realize that it was satanic and sexually, and, you know, had a lot of witchcraft and shit, or the corny cartoons that later on these kids would not give a fuck about, and also the fact for the reality TV shows that are corny and the people on the show are later assholes and crackhead whores. Which y'all choose? But anyways, peoples, thanks for watching my video, yo. Make sure y'all share, y'all rate it, and comment, and basically, y'all already know, subscribe to the channel. Anyways, SBX wrapping this shit up. Thanks for watching. Peace and God bless.
Bitches.